Bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it.
Unless you've been living under a rock, most of you already know about Soulframe, the latest up-and-coming ARPG from Digital Extremes. Yes, the same studio behind Warframe. There is no release date on the horizon yet, but they did lift their NDA and allowed folks to play their closed prelude test so you could get a glimpse of the game itself. Keep in mind that this is just a prelude, therefore it is not indicative of the final game, with a number of features and mechanics being introduced or altered between now and full release. The NDA free prelude all started back in early November, and I'm sure some of you are like, Mrs. STIX, why the hell are you so slow at getting this video out? Listen, my fellow sci-fi fantasy lovers, I suffer from motion sickness with a very small amount of games, and this game made me ill as hell. Without further ado, this is Soulframe from the eyes of someone who played a small handful of Warframe and generally spent half the game time on the floor with a bucket because I just don't know how to quit fun games even if they cause me pain and suffering. Long story short, we betrayed the 10 camp people we're fighting in the game because they are destroying nature and we just didn't like that. Cast out and left for dead, a beast of nature comes to our aid, bringing us back to life as its champion with new skills. Our job as the nature envoy is to bring nature back by tying ourselves to trees and gluing our hands to streets. Wait, no, I mean, we're actually gonna go out and destroy oil-oozing machines, freeing captured animals, and blasting our enemies into an early grave. So I mean, I guess this is kind of the theme of the movie Avatar. You're pretty much just dropped into this world and told to just go explore. Granted, they do have a sparrow acting as a guide for you to some degree, but it will flit about the map and guide you towards quests you just happen to stumble upon when exploring. If you haven't found a quest, well, the bird just kind of sits there and flies in place. And when you die, the sparrow ferries your soul back to your body to begin the fight for nature again. There are only 2 classes at the start of the game, and that is Ode Tempest, which utilizes shields, lightning, and literally a rolling ball of fire. The second is Fae, which in my opinion is the coolest class so far, and I'm a little saddened by the fact I didn't start with it. You will have the ability to freeze your opponent in place by encasing them in stone, attack them with a flock of birds, and then transform into a swarm of butterflies to sneak up on your enemies from behind for a devastating blow. Imagine dying to an army of cute little butterflies. That's how all of your friends and family will remember you. Died by butterfly. Despite the 2 classes being quite different in their magical approach, they do share similarities such as weapons and some basic skills. There are long swords, daggers, and polearms as base options, with further unlocks of bows and shields to use with swords. All base weapon types can be thrown as a projectile that returns to you if you remember to hit the return button, but if you forget you've just chucked your weapon, you can still punch your way out of a fight until you can call it back to you. Each weapon has finishing moves, light attacks, and heavy attacks. You can even parry, dodge, and kick your enemies with 0 stamina use. There's only a cooldown on abilities. Thank you. That is a wonderful feature. My soul's loving heart enjoys the ability to roll away from danger. Unlike Ode Tempest though, the Fae comes with a free bow as you'll be able to use your gauge to shoot arrows from a spectral bow. You both also have a really cool ability of soul mode, where you can stun an enemy's soul out of their body and, well, you suck it up, you soul sucker you. In soul mode, you can also see various interactive items that are around you. Granted, they have a soft glow, but it does help you discover what to do at times. The arm that your character has on seems to affect your abilities as well, so as you go through boss fights, you technically unlock new class options if you craft the arm. Navigating the world so far feels fun for me, as the world is littered with enemies, quests, and even main quests that aren't exactly easy to stumble upon. You need to explore and investigate to further your progression with the story, and I felt it tied in nicely to this open world game, like you're really truly adventuring with purpose. The world also has materials necessary to craft armor and weapons. For example, you'll need to collect 3 or more pieces to create these things, and the only way to get it is to open chests in the world, kill enemies and take their drops, or collect, say, pumpkin seeds from chopping pumpkins. You will also get these materials in their procedurally generated dungeons. This ensures each dungeon gives you a slightly more unique experience because you will need to grind them. This is also the part that made me motion sick, as tight spaces that you spend ample amounts of time in games just kill me. But they were very fun. These dungeons can lead you through boss fights, collection quests with NPCs, and general dungeoning. Each dungeon may present different mechanics. Some mechanics you will come across in the open world, but generally appear in the dungeons to further quests. Some mechanics will require you to use your soul mode, some will require you to play a song, which is a mini game mechanic, and others will require you to solve little puzzles. There's even a fun mini game you play with this cute salad creature that sneezes all the time. I kind of understood how it worked by the end of it, but it's just chance. You like roll the coins and you either get 1 or 4 moves, and you can knock your opponent's pieces off the board, and then you could move all your pieces into the final spot and win. I thought that was a pretty cute addition. Generally, I look forward to what else they are willing to implement in the future in the development of this game. Crafting, as of right now, is done through your ancestor, which you'll find a lot of those ancestors by following various quests you stumble upon. One is for crafting, one is for dyeing your armor, which she's kind of bae, one is for guiding you on quests and filling in the map, and also upgrading your weapons with motes that'll give you up to 3 spaces depending on the weapon rarity to increase various stats from an ancestor that has fuzzy little sit dudes like in Spirited Away around him. Those are really cute. 10 out of 10 for me. And who else knows what is to come? These ancestors, once you've discovered them and completed their quest, will appear in your Nightfold, aka your home base that is unique to you. The blacksmith ancestor requires the different pieces of collected materials to craft for you, and also requires money, and of course has a set period of time from 30 minutes to 12 hours from what I can tell. And because what family member staying at your place doesn't take your money to do favors around the house? The interesting thing about gear, though, is that it seems to be appearance based, so even if you spend money to craft it, just keep in mind it's for looks, and I totally understand why you would waste money on that. However, there are a couple things that do matter when crafting, like for example, your weapons, and depending upon the forgery that you use to bind it and craft it, it will make it stronger. So be aware that weapons do matter, and also the arms that you craft from packs after you kill like a boss monster, like the big deer monster. We got this cool arm that will have different skills. That also matters when crafting, but general armor pieces like helmet, chest piece, legs, for now, seems to not matter. In the Nightfold, you can pet your doggo, which in theory may be a mount in the future, and you can just chill. But overall, seems to be a solo experience despite the game being co-op. For the co-op function, it seems that 2 other people may join your world. Everything seems shareable, including collecting resources. Even the story seems to be doable together.
Oh, wait, you're villagers. Sorry.
Wow! Killing friendlies.
I thought they were enemies.
There's an animal to save. Hello, babies. Sorry you had to see that. What's in here? Oh.
A load of junk.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
Oh.
you scared him. He's scared.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry. My friend's violent. Forgive him. The only thing that seems MMO-esque, and I'm using quotation marks here, about this is the world chat, which includes a lot of people. I wouldn't really qualify this game as an MMO as most people are calling it. I'm really not sure why they are. A copium, I guess. But as of right now, it looks like it's shaping up to be a very fun co-op ARPG. Overall, this game is coming together nicely, even within its very early stages that I got to play through during the prelude. The AI for the enemies seems pretty damn decent. The boss fight was hella fun and had a pattern to follow and watch. The combat, though, is on the borderline of clunky and heavy feeling for me, but the skill portion of it felt great. The climbing ladders part looks hilarious. Please fix that animation. I'm sure as the game develops, a lot could change in regards to the combat, so I hope they take notes and come back with something even smoother, but I think it's almost there. The world was beautiful and full of things to do, and I foresee events that seem to pop up in the open world will keep it fresh and exciting. And even though the dungeons do make me motion sick, they are procedurally generated and don't get stale too quickly. And if I'm honest here, I hope they work on the character creator. I really didn't like how my character looked, but I do appreciate when I change the armor, the entire appearance changes. It's become far too common to have different gear that has no direct effect on appearances these days, so I appreciate it. Thank you. So what do you guys think of the game so far? Does this look like something you're gonna keep an eye on, or is it just right out a big fat no for you? Anyway, this is MRSSSTIX, logging off for now. Bye!